Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 2 of the Collecting International Pastime podcast. My name is Jeremy. I'm one of your hosts.
CJ, I'm your other host.
So we have a very loaded um podcast today. So let's get right into it. So I've done a lot of breaks. I've watched a lot of breakers, and I've noticed that certain breakers get much bigger hits. They get all of the big rookie parallels where in a break of another of the same product from another breaker might not get any of the big rookie parallels at all. And I just think that's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's just with luck, but then also other times, you just can't get those certain teams in time that have like all those high-end players to where those rookie parallels that everyone's looking after are there.
Yeah,
Um,
so it can be multiple things. It could be like, are the cases actually juiced? Do they have secret labels on the QR codes, QVC codes, or is it just a quantity of stuff that they actually rip?
yeah, I mean, it I guess it just depends on the breaker because I've seen some streams to where it's marked with a sticky note that says case or Uh, it's possibly in the barcode, but then also, like you said, you have to consider how these breakers are buying so much from these companies that they have a higher chance of getting these sought after case hits.
Yeah, and if you I don't know how a breaker gets a good enough reputation to start hitting all these hits at first, or if they hit a certain amount of top tier hits, then they'll start getting the juice cases.
Yeah, I guess that just takes time and the type of relationship that you have with, certain companies. Like, I know a lot of people, like a lot of these breakers have tight relationships with Panini because it has all the sought after higher end products like Immaculate, Prism, Select, National Treasures. So, but then you also have these other breakers that, stick to baseball and they have really, really good connections with tops.
Yeah, and I think that's very interesting, and definitely I think it depends on who you're breaking with. Obviously, some breakers specialize in certain areas. While they may break all sports, they definitely have tighter connections with certain of the card companies.
Yeah, and then one thing that also that you might want to consider is if some of these breakers already have like a brick and mortar storefront to where as a hobby shop you have a different sort of selection than what you could get from retail or even online because these hobby shops buy in bulk so they could have better chances of getting these case hits or they have that special connection already established so it just varies from breaker to breaker from
And
how I see it.
going based off of what you said with the brick and mortar store, do these breakers have separate cases for their breaks as they do in different than what they sell in the store, or does it come from the same inventory? Like, would I have the same possible probability of hitting a huge red out of five or superfractor auto as a from if I were to buy an individual box from their storefront as they would in a stream of a big name breaker that has a reputation, a good relationship with tops. I think it's could go either way, and it's just very interesting.
Yeah, because you would have to, examine how these different aspects could alter your chances of getting one of these case hits when you enter one of these breaks, whether it's as a team or as a player. depending on the product.
Do you think breaking is a good idea to have the possibility of hitting something big for a lower price?
Yeah, because not a lot of these people can go to these hobby shops and pay some of the prices for, you know, either whole boxes or packs from boxes because they're only looking for a certain player or a certain team.
But
And it's
yeah,
much easier, sorry, it's much easier to get into these breaks where you're only with a certain team or a certain player to
and
where you can
something
possibly get what you
I
want.
have seen with certain breakers, including breakers I brought broken with and hopped into some of these breaks, is that they'll divide up teams or players by the serial number. So they'll split it up into 10 spots and you'll basically get the serial number, which is if a note card was numbered 10 out of 10, whoever got the zero spot would get that card. Same thing, a 1 out of 1 would go to the one spot,
Right.
which makes it even more affordable to get into a high rake. And they usually do that for the higher value players.
And even then that gives you a lot more opportunity to get not just like the ones that are like super, super low numbered, but you get a card out of 99 and then a card out of uh 49. Just that having that range there is
Well, it would be the second number to the left of the serial.
uh it would also be
That's
one
the way
through.
I would do it. So if like a 5 out of 10 would go to the five spot. Same,
Okay.
does that make sense? And a five
Yeah,
out
it does.
yeah, or a 22 out of 49 would go to the two spot.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, and I've gotten a Jackson Merrill Wave Auto number to 125 from a serial break of Bowman Sterling, and I hopped into a Jackson Merrill serial and I got the hit. So that was pretty big. And yeah, also, moving on from juice cases, there is a huge card at Golden Auction ending tonight, or Golden.co. It's a Pop 22 1993 Upper Deck SB Derek Jeter rookie card, PSA 10, which is a super hard grade. It's a foil card if you don't know. And the reason why it's a hard grade is because of paper loss and cards were in the middle of the pack. And there's one at Golden right now, ending tonight. Let's see what it's at right now.
Yeah, I mean, just to comment on that, that's probably the most sought after Derek Jeter rookie ever produced because of the desirability to have the foil in great condition.
Yeah, so right now it is at $220,000. Again, it's a Pop 22. It's a beautiful card, PSA, which is the cream of the crop for grading, Pop 22. And the buyer's premium on it is $268,400, which is a ridiculous amount of money. Would it have cost more at the peak of the market in March of 2021? Sure, but $200,000 for a card from basically the junk box era, but a higher end set is ridiculous. And this is before autograph cards really became mainstream. Like,
Well, sorry, go ahead.
and yes, there were autographs in 1991, a score and whatnot, but this is a Legends cream of the crop rookie card.
Well, I know we primarily focus on baseball, but that whole aspect of the junk wax era and how this card is so sought after. Switching to the football standpoint, you have a rookie card of the potential greatest football player in history from a company that doesn't even exist anymore in the 2000 Pacific Tom Brady.
You think that's the greatest rookie card?
I'm saying the greatest football player of all time. His best rookie is probably that 2000 Pacific, in my opinion. Um,
I mean, but the cream of the crop rookie is 2000 Bowman Chrome.
right.
Then, of course, there's a contenders ticket auto and
Yeah. I was just giving my personal opinion, being a Patriots fan and wanting a Tom Brady rookie for so long. I like the look of the Pacific Tom Brady better than the Bowman or the contenders.
of course, and about collecting rather than investing, because that's a huge topic of this. I think you should collect what you love. Don't buy for the money, what it's worth. Buy it because you like it. And if you like the design of that card better, it's going to be a cheaper alternative rather than hundreds of thousands of dollars for the rookie ticket and the numbered version of that auto. And also the Bowman Chrome and Bowman version in graded copies. You could
Yeah.
It's significantly affordable and it was licensed back then.
So switching back to the Jeter, how much time is left on that auction?
Just under 6 hours, 5 hours, 48 minutes.
Yeah. All right. So that should be going off at 10 o'clock tonight.
Correct.
Um,
But there's extended bidding for 30 minutes, so maybe 10,
yeah.
but
But switching topics to the aspect of bounties in
yeah,
terms of like some of the most sought after cards. You It's like last year's Bowman with, the Tom Brady, the Babe Ruth, and then the one that was just recently announced is a Tops Now triple autograph of Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant from the 2024 Olympics. So
yeah.
did you want to go more in depth with that?
Yeah, so if you don't know, this isn't a card found in boxes. This is a card that if you bought a Tops Now card for $12, you'd be entered to win this card. Not win this card, you'd be randomly selected it. And it will probably take longer than actual Tops Now to get it because I know autographs for Tops Now are a little bit slow, but it's going to be interesting because there are a couple huge bounties on it from two of the top creators slash prominent people in the memorabilia and card industry. There's a bounty from sports card investor, aka Jeff Wilson. And there's also an offer from Ken Golden, who owns Golden.co. So you
Um,
break down these two options.
yeah, so for Golden, they're offering 150K upfront to sell it through Golden's auction house. And then on top of that, you will get the price of the sale of the card, obviously after minus taxes and the percentage
Now,
that Golden takes from the auction house. And you also have the potential of having that card featured in their well-known docu-series that has shown other collections like the collection from the Diamondbacks owner that is very, very famous. And
and
then,
you go ahead with
sorry.
Jeff Wilson.
Yeah, so then going to Jeff Wilson and Sports Card Investor, he will be offering 100K and then accommodations for travel to Atlanta to meet him and be a VIP at Sports HQ where you pick out any box you want, including the highest end of products. You get to rip that product with him, and then you also get tickets with him to any Atlanta sports game, and these are high-end tickets, so they could be courtside to a Hawks game or down by the 50-yard line for the Falcons or have one of those high-end suites for the Falcons. So, and then you also have this whole experience documented on his YouTube channel. So,
This brings great options. Both options are honestly so great. it's good to have options for this, but personally, I would pick Jeff Wilson's because if I were to get this card, I did not buy any of these Tops Down cards, so I don't have a chance to win it. But I would pick Jeff Wilson's experience, and here's why. I am all about experiences and just the amount of stuff he's offering. Yes, you could possibly get more money. Up front, you're already getting more money from Ken Golden, and you could get a 750,000 more. Who knows what it will sell for? It could be a ridiculous amount. We just don't know. But the amount and quantity of stuff that Jeff Wilson is offering is incredible. And Jeff Wilson wants it for himself, where Ken Golden would want it to sell it for publicity. Not that that's a bad thing. He just wants to make his business bring attention to it, which and have content for his docuseries and social media. I think both are great opportunities, but and the idea of ripping any box you want with Jeff is incredible. I don't know if he has any vintage boxes from the 70s or 80s, or even like 2003 Topps Chrome Basketball, 1996 Topps Chrome Basketball, anything like that. I think that would be an incredible experience. So, what would you pick, CJ?
Honestly, you hit the nail on the head with both options. They have both ends of the spectrum when it comes to the state of the hobby today, to where you have the business and selling aspect with going through Golden, where yes, you do get more money up front and then potentially more money on and then more money on top of that with the sale of the card. But then with Jeff Wilson, yes, he's paying you for the card and he's paying for your flight tickets and all of that, but the experience of getting some of those very, very sought after high-end products like 2003, 2004 Topps Chrome basketball, 2000 Bowman Chrome football, um, 2018 Topps Chrome, you have that experience of ripping it with someone that is a true fan of the product, of the hobby, I should say. And then I feel like from my perspective, the experience of that outweighs the more money that you would get from Golden. Don't get me wrong, both experiences would be great. You could sell your card with one of the most well-known auction houses in the world, but then you could also have the experience of ripping open um
A box you
your
could never dream to have afforded just for spending a minimum of $12.
right. So I would pick Jeff Wilson as well because of the experience that you're getting on top of the money that you're getting for the card. And you know that the person that's getting the card is gonna cherish it and take care of it. That's a huge thing that I see whenever I sell cards. It's like, okay, are you just looking to flip it? Or is this something that you're actually going to keep within your collection and, you know, hold on to it and cherish it? But
Yeah. And also, you got to keep in mind, Golden mostly specializes in not cards, although they do some cards, it's mostly memorabilia.
right. So they would have more jerseys, more helmets, more uh footballs, baseballs,
Bats,
basketballs.
shoes,
Yes.
medals, rings. And I think we should talk about Topps Chrome Basketball 2023.
Yeah. So uh as you know, Topps does not have a license with the NBA and the NBA Players Association. So, yes, this product will be unlicensed, but it brings back how I see it as a sort of nostalgia factor with having a Topps basketball product with NBA players. And the one huge thing is Victor Wembanyama will have autos in Topps. as he does not in Panini products. And then the big question we should be asking is, we had the same predicament with Shohei Ohtani back in 2018. Will this have the same effect?
Well, yeah, and also, do you think it's good that Topps is getting all the rights, exclusive rights? Topps and Fanatics is getting all these exclusive rights to all the biggest stars that have been in Panini products in the past in terms of autos, knowing that they would have the full access to logos in the next couple years.
Um, I I want to say it isn't a bad move, especially with how Panini has been in terms of like release and then also card quality. Topps is known for having a better card quality from what I've seen than Panini. And, some players just may like the idea that may like the terms of the deal that Topps has better than Panini because yes, you want to have a sports card that you can share with your fans, but then also at the end of the day, these players are thinking, okay, how much are you going to be paying me for this? But uh I feel like having this sense of Topps making a comeback in basketball, especially this year with Chrome basketball, where it has some of the hottest rookies that we've seen in recent years, it'll be a big step in the right direction.
What do you think will be worth more, a one of one from a product like Optic or Prism of Wembanyama not signed, or his one of one superfractor from Topps Chrome Auto?
I don't think they're going to be very far apart because you have a product that is licensed but not signed, but then you also have a product that is signed but not licensed. So you kind of have like equalizing factors on both ends of the spectrum
And let's
that,
just say they're both. I don't know if any of them have been graded for Wembanyama, but let's just say they're the same grade. Which one would you pick? Honestly, I hate unlicensed products. I don't know why I open it, but sometimes I do. But I would honestly, this would be a rare time I would go with Panini if I had an opportunity to own a card.
I actually have a different opinion because I would rather ha take the autograph than yes, the product may be unlicensed, but having an autograph is in my eyes much more sought after than a single print run of a card. And with it being licensed, like I have cards in my own PC that are Leaf and not licensed by Topps or the MLB.
When
So,
I say unlicensed, I mean like Panini Baseball, like no shame on Panini.
right.
Topps is doing the same thing with basketball and football soon. And I am a huge Topps fan. I just am not a fan of unlicensed products. But Leaf does a great job with low numbered stuff. There are affordable ways to collect, so I don't have as much of a problem with Leaf, especially baseball, as I do with unlicensed Tops and Panini.
Well, in that case, I actually have a David Ortiz autograph in my personal collection from 2023 Prism Baseball because I at that point I did not have a David Ortiz autograph in my collection and I wanted one, and my thought process was, okay, yes, I would love to have a licensed autograph from David Ortiz, but I could always get one later down the line.
Licensed is always gonna unlicensed is gonna be cheaper, and I get it. I
Right.
have unlicensed autographs also because for my collection, because I have subsets of different things I collect. But I don't think unlicensed autographs will hold value long term, even for Wembenyama.
It very well could be the case, or it could be the opposite. Only time will tell in that regard.
And how it seems like every few years there's going to be a new guy that people go absolutely crazy over in basketball and every sport. Like a few years ago, it was Zion Williamson. Now it's Wembenyama. And it could be anything. Like, especially with the sports card industry where it is now, people will soon forget about the past rookies, and there will soon be another huge rookie to collect.
Right, and that's going to happen with any sport, any product, but in the bare and like the deep down sense, even if your player is not very popular in terms of value in the market, you still have that nostalgia factor, or you still have that factor of he's my favorite player or she's my favorite player. I want her or them.
I agree. If you collect what you love, you'll never lose. It's a saying
Like,
you've heard before.
I'm gonna be fully honest. If Panini comes out with a WNBA product this year, I'm gonna see if I can snag myself, you know, uh, like a card of Caitlin Clark or Cameron Brink or Kelsey Plum because those are some of the players that I like watching when I do watch WNBA. There's players in all sports for that. So
I
that's
might
just
even buy
but
some Cameron Brink also. I'm not sure. But I think that's most of the stuff we have covered today. We'll be back soon with another podcast, so stay tuned and we'll talk to you soon.
yeah, feel free to connect with us on our Instagram. Uh the Instagram handle is the name of this podcast, Collecting Our National Pastime.
It's
Eh,
collecting pastime underscore pod.
right. Um, feel free to follow us, shoot us a DM, and we'd love to hear from you.
Okay, talk to you soon.
See you
Peace.
guys.